Most men are teaching their sons how to be losers, one day at a time, and eventually it catches up to them. And you're actually going to force your son to go look elsewhere for actual guidance in their lives. So I just took my son to his first baseball game. We were watching the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks today here in Arizona. And every time something big happens, my son does not look at the field. He doesn't look around at the crowd. He looks up at dad. And if you have kids, the best look you'll ever get in the world is when your son is looking at you and reading off of and feeding off of your energy as to what he should respond to something or how he should respond to something. And the baseball game was a good example that that's happening all the time. Your son looks to you for how he should respond to things. The unfortunate thing is, for most sons, for me as a kid, most of the time that you're looking at your dad, again, when something big happens, is when dad gets angry, or dad's pissed off, or dad's drunk again, or dad's yelling at mom, or dad's pissed off about work, or dad's mad about something. It's almost always tied to something negative. And so, son either one learns that everything is negative in life, and that when I'm looking for big reactions to something, all I have in my repertoire and what I have to pull from, what I've seen dad do all the time, is get mad at things, get angry at things, get surly about something, get disappointed about something. And so if he ever wants anything positive in his life, he has to look for other men. I don't think most guys, especially when their kids are young, realize that that's exactly what you're doing to your kid, though. You're teaching him either that he has to settle for less in life because dad has settled for less in life. Yes, most men settle for far less than what they should, or that he has to go look somewhere else. And in no way, shape, or form in any part of my life do I want either one of my sons or my semi adopted son to be looking at other men as to how he should be responding to things. If you start looking at this as your absolute responsibility, you start realizing how much impact you have on those kids because for a long period of time, you're the only person that your kid will look at to say, how should I respond to this? How should I think about this? How should I notice the things that are going on around me? Once you realize the responsibility, which is why most guys choose not to think about this, once you realize that that is your responsibility, or in negative cases, that's your burden, you start to notice how much of it you're doing. My thought process here, or my hope for anybody watching this, is that you start realizing it and you start noticing how much you can actually influence who your son becomes. And your job is to make it so that your son never has to look for anybody else. He never has to look for another man to gauge who he's going to become off of. But you have to become the person worth your son looking up at and smiling, looking up at and hoping for more for himself, looking up at and saying, I want to become just like that. So if you're not doing that, if you're not aware of it, here's your chance.